Hi, my name is Melissa with the CEOffice. I help founders of service-based businesses cultivate their team's potential through leadership coaching and elevated operating systems. Today, I am going to share with you the handbook template, which I've created using Notion. And the reason that I am sharing this with you is because I have found that one of the biggest friction points for founders when delegating, pitching to investors, or planning for succession is that they don't have an operating system in place for the next person to succeed. And one of the things that I learned early in my career is that the number one rule for getting a promotion is to have trained someone to fill your role. It might sound counterintuitive if you're seeing yourself as the most valuable person and don't want to be replaced. I get that. The only way that you can be elevated and move to the next chapter of where you want to go is to bring someone up with you. So the handbook then allows a smooth transition and business continuity for the team, clients, and vendors. And that's why I'm sharing my template with you. It's the first thing I create when setting up a small business operating system for clients. The handbook, as you see here, with the policies, processes, and templates, support the execution of day-to-day work, and it's reflected in the quality of the knowledge that's shared in these areas. So policies, if you're not familiar, are their firm boundaries to protect the business, team, and clients. So those are typically the areas such as attendance, dress code, PTO, paid time off, holidays, maybe how you handle communication, how you handle finances. So things that there is less flexibility on and they don't change frequently. They're more static. Processes are like a recipe. So they provide instructions on how to complete projects or tasks to meet your service standard. They tell team members how to do something to meet the standard that your business, your brand is known for. And then templates are examples and tools to help them quickly complete and implement a task. So templates typically complement a process and show what the ideal outcome is. But all three of these documents, whether it's a policy, process, or template, can overlap. So diving in, I've done a couple examples for you. So there is a communication policy here at the top, and it tells what that policy looks like, the purpose for it, and then your tech stack. So what tools you use for upholding this policy, and then who's responsible for it. Obviously, these can all be edited to match your business and your tools. And then if there were any accompanying processes or templates, you would see them linked here. You can also change the team that the policy applies to and the status when it goes into effect. There's some tips here that you'll find included in the template. Continuity policy. This is something that's often overlooked, and hindsight being 2020, of course. This gives you all of your emergency contacts should there be something that happens to your business or in the community, an evacuation packing list, just a starter, and then the different levels of emergencies, resources such as OSHA and FEMA. And then you can write out what your policy is for these different types of incidents. There's prompts there to help you with that. So all of your active policies are here. They're grouped by team. Those teams' names can change to reflect the team or departments for your business. Any policies that are in draft are there, and then archived ones are under the archive tab. Moving out to processes, how to write a process. So just a helpful tool on what that looks like. You can delete that. And then how to create a job description. So I provide prompts here. So whether you use this for yourself or you delegate it to a team member, and then edit it to fit your business. There are different things to work through here to write up a job description and then promote it. The one thing that you'll see here with the roles, so this helps because then each individual, like if I'm the design manager, I get to see what policies apply to me, what processes apply to me, and what templates apply to my work. So it really upholds and supports the performance of the individual on your team. And just real quickly going into this roles, this is where then you can create these different roles and link them to the processes, the policies, and the templates. And then in reverse, as you're creating new documents, you can tag the appropriate role that upholds or supports that line of work. And then these are grouped by if there are active roles within your business. So for example, I'm the leadership coach, and so it has my name assigned here that I'm active, and then any coordinating policies, processes, and templates would be shown here. And then going back out to templates, we have the active. So one of the things that I added in here is a template field. So if you use other programs to design something, like if there is graphic design, you need to create marketing materials, it's so much easier if you just have the link put in here that goes directly to the document. So that way, if you have a manager that needs to make edits or do approvals, they can quickly go to the original document and do that while it's in draft form. And then once it's active, you can drop the actual document here in the template field. But I use this frequently when doing social media or other types of marketing documents where I use Canva and then drop the link in here. Not a plug for Canva, but I do love using it. Drafts. So this is another tool that is extremely important. One of the first things that I want to find out about clients' businesses is what is your vision, mission, and values, because those three components really drive the business. They're the filter for which all decisions should be run through. If you're deciding to start a new marketing program, does it help further the vision? Does it help you achieve the mission? Does it align with the values? If it doesn't, then you want to table it. So this really helps you avoid the shiny object syndrome or being a squirrel and chasing everything that you see, is adhering and really defining what your company foundation is. And then moving back out, your tech stack. So all of your active tools are here, the purpose of it, and then a link to support or training, and then a link to the app itself. So you can see here. So if someone's new joining the team, they can quickly have a feel for what are the apps that the team uses, what's the primary purpose for them, and then getting help. So quick overview of the handbook layout and what is included in it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, but I encourage you to start using this and setting yourself up for the future chapter that you want to encounter. So have a great day.